I was planning on doing this tomorrow when I have bathed and look proper, but I want to do this now while all my emotions are fresh. So I read this book the entire day, Every Last Word by Tamara Ireland Stone. And the story is we have Samantha McAllister, who is a high school student. I think she's a senior high school student, and her friends does not know she has been diagnosed when she was 11 years old with OCD, more of being obsessive than compulsive. So it's more of her against her brain and not her and doing things. It's more of being inside her head most of the time. And the story is she meets a new friend on the first day of class named Caroline Madison something. Just Caroline. And Caroline introduces her to a secret group of poets. So the rule of the poet club is to not talk about the poet club, that sort of thing. And from there, she re-meets. Is that re-meets? Reintroduces herself, sees again an old classmate who transferred because of her being a bully to him, not her individually, but her group of friends. She's sort of the part of the popular crowd even when they were younger. So AJ, also known as Andrew, transferred to a different school because they bullied him because of his stutter. And when they are now in high school, he had to come back because there's only one public high school, and that's where they are all now. So we all know where this is going. AJ and Sam become a thing, and it's a good kind of becoming a thing. It's not forced. It's like it's the natural way of things. You sort of expect it, but you expect it in a good way. Do you get it? Now the twist in the story that I did not see coming, and while we were there I was still thinking if it was all in her head or was it really something else, something paranormal. I did not expect that, but there was something that surprised me. Anyway, you will get that too when you read it. But I rated this 5 out of 5 stars because it's so good. There were many times I laughed, literally, honestly and sincerely. I laughed out loud, and for around 120 pages in, I had to stop to take a break. I need to rest. I need to break it. I need to break my pacing, my reading, because I was about to cry. There are very emotional scenes here, and if I didn't stop, I would have continued reading while crying. That's how good it is. What else could I say? There's nothing else I could share without spoiling the book, but I highly recommend this one to everyone, especially those who has OCD. Maybe when you're a little better, because you see how she struggles with it, especially the obsessive side, not the compulsive side. Oh, and maybe to the people who thinks they have OCD, I hate it because it became an expression in where I live. I don't know if it's the same with everywhere else, but in where I live, we have this slang that when we're neat freaks, or we keep doing something, we just say, I have OCD, or OCD ako, like that. But after reading this, guys, you have to respect the illness more. It's really, really difficult. And yeah, you learn to get this sympathy, this empathy to those people who have OCD. I always read books on fiction on depression because that's what I have. That's the mental illness I can relate to. This is the first time, I guess, that I have read an OCD themed story. And I don't know if they presented the illness accurately, but to me, as an outside person reading the insides, the brains of Sam, I think it was presented relatively good, in my opinion. Maybe if you have OCD and you have read this, you can tell me if it's a good representation or not. But to me, with what I know now, this is a good book. I recommend this to everyone who has time. This is around 300 pages. Yes, 360 pages. Kind of not so thick book, but a regular one. You could read it maybe in a week. It depends on your reading pace, but yes. So I'll see you on the next one. Bye!